again. Okay, so here, this is another one from the book. Although I think they don't use the name Adam, they use someone else's name, but I've decided to go with my name, I guess. But let's suppose Adam has $100 in a school lunch account. And let's say he wants this, and let's say the school is charging $3.50 per lunch. We want to know how many lunches Adam can purchase, that is. So that's what we're looking for. What? Someone have a question? Oh, all right. I thought I heard someone have a question or something. So, all right. Okay. So again, we want to know how many lunches Adam can buy. Okay. Well, so what's changing here? So of course, the number of lunches, that's something that's changing. I mean, we don't know what it is, but that's a changing quantity. Okay. Right. That's something that's changing. And what else is changing? Well, how much? Well, money, right? How much money he has in that account, or how much money he spends. That's changing, right? You know, the more lunches he buys, the more money he's going to spend. So that's going to change. Now, I didn't do this with the first word problem. I'm going to do it here, though. What you can do is you could do some number crunching in order to help to see what's really going on. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to play with some numbers. I mean, sometimes you stumble upon the answer this way, but not always. Well, at least not efficiently. So let's ask this. Is Adam able to buy one lunch? Well, yeah. And how do we know that? Because each lunch is $3.50, right? So if he spends that much, he'll have $96.50 left. So he can afford one lunch. Okay, so that's good. So we know that the number of lunches he can buy is obviously at least one. Can he buy 2 lunches? Well, yeah, he can. Right? Because 2 lunches altogether cost $7, and then he'll have $93 left over. We're not saying 2 more lunches, we're just saying 2 lunches. Okay, now I'm not going to keep going with 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, but I just chose the next number, 50. Now, is he able to buy 50? Well, it turns out the answer is no. And how do I know that? Because 3.5 times 50, as you can see, is way over 100. It's 175. But he only has $100. So it's too large. In other words, he can't buy 50 lunches, so there's going to be some limit. Okay. Now we want to figure out what x is. Well, how do we do that? Well, let's set up some notation. So that's what we're going to do here. I just reproduced the problem above as well. So we're going to let x be how many lunches that Adam purchases, Adam buys. Okay, that's going to determine how much money he spends. So the amount of money he spends depends on x. So we're going to let m be how much money he spends. Okay, and that's going to depend on x. So that's our output. But you can see, really, if you went back to the calculations, let me do that real quickly. You can see the amount of money he spends, right? That's what we're getting here. It's really just 3.5 times x. That's what's happening here. Right? So we have m in terms of x. Really, in a sense, that's the hard part, right? Because we want to know how many lunches he can buy. Well, how many can he buy? He can only spend $100, right? So m has to be at most $100. So the amount of lunches he can buy is X such that M is 100. And that's what this is saying. So we want X so that M is 100. So we have to solve for that. And that's actually pretty easy. It's just basic algebra. Okay, so again, we had X is the number of lunches he can buy. M is how much money Adam spends. And really from the calculations, we know he spends 3.5 times X. And we want to know how many lunches he's able to buy. He can only buy $100 worth of lunches. He can only spend $100. So that's why we have 100 is 3.5 times X. And now we have to figure out what X is. Like so. And so we have 100 is 3.5 times X, and we just solve for X. So we get 28.6. Now, does that make sense in the context of the problem? Well, can he buy half a lunch? Can Adam? Well, no, he can't, right? That doesn't make sense. So the answer then would be 28. So he can only buy 28 lunches, and he spends $98. And so after all this, he has $2 left over. All right. So hopefully, hold on. Oh, man.